All right, let's get into it. You've probably seen one of those network diagrams, right? Just a total mess of boxes and lines that looks super complicated. Well, what if I told you it's actually pretty simple? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and demystify the whole world of computer networks. We'll break down the handful of devices that make everything, and I mean everything in our digital lives work. So let's jump right in.
Have you ever really stopped to think about it? The moment you hit send on an email, or click a link, or even just start streaming a video, bam! In that split second, a little piece of your data kicks off this wild, incredible journey. So, how does it know where to go? Seriously, what's guiding it from your screen halfway across the planet to its destination in a blink of an eye? Well, today, we're going to follow that exact journey.
So here's the secret, the big reveal. Any one of those super complex-looking networks, it's really just a handful of key devices working together. That's it. Each one has a very specific and a very important job to do. And once you get what each one does, the whole map just clicks into place. It all starts to make sense. And these are the stars of the show, the 5 key players we're going to meet today. We've got end devices, that's where the data starts, then switches and routers, the traffic directors. We'll talk about wireless access points, which let us cut the cord. And finally, firewalls, the security guards. That's our game plan for today. Let's do it.
Okay, so first things first, where is data even born? Where does this journey begin? Well, it starts on a device you and I use literally every single day. In fact, chances are you're using one to watch this right now.
Yep, we're talking about end devices, sometimes called hosts. Think about your computer, your phone, a server out on the internet. They're all end devices. They're both the starting line and the finish line for any data traveling on a network. The main thing to get here is that this is where it all begins. And to make sure data actually gets where it's going, each of these devices has 2 different kinds of addresses. A MAC address for local neighborhood travel, and an IP address for those big, long-distance trips. And don't worry, we'll see exactly how those work in just a minute.
Okay, so picture this. A piece of data is born on your laptop. Awesome. But it can't just, wander out onto the internet by itself. Nope. Its very first stop is kind of like the local post office for your immediate area. Or, in networking terms, what we call the local network. And who's running that local post office? That's the switch. A switch is all about connecting devices that are in the same physical place. Think your office, or all the gadgets in your home. It's basically a local traffic cop. And remember that MAC address we mentioned? That's what the switch uses. It's how it makes sure that document you're sending to the printer goes only to the printer, and not to your roommate's gaming console. Its whole job is to direct local traffic, and do it fast. This is super efficient because it keeps all that local chatter from clogging up the main internet highway.
But what happens when your data needs to leave the neighborhood, right? What if it needs to go from your home network all the way to a server in, say, Japan? Well, for a trip like that, it's going to need a guide, something that understands the entire global roadmap of the internet.
And that guide is the router. This is a huge difference. While a switch connects devices inside a single network, a router's job is to connect different networks to each other. It is the gateway from your little home network out to your internet service provider and then onto the massive, wide-open internet. It uses that other address, the IP address, to figure out the absolute best, most efficient path for your data to take. It's what lets you talk to the rest of the world. Okay, if you remember one thing, let it be this. This is probably the most important distinction we're going to talk about. A switch, it's for traffic within one network. It's the local post office, and it uses those MAC addresses. A router, it connects different networks together. It's the interstate highway system, and it uses IP addresses. That's really it. Local versus long distance, switch versus router.
All right, so we've got our local streets handled by switches and our global highways managed by routers. But, modern networks have a couple more specialized players that add some much-needed convenience and, maybe more importantly, a layer of safety. First, let's talk about the wireless access point, or just AP for short. Super simple. If you're on Wi-Fi right now, you're using an AP. Its job is to be the on-ramp for all your wireless gadgets. It just takes that Wi-Fi signal from your phone, translates it into a signal that can travel over an actual cable, and then hands it off to the switch. That's all it does. It provides access. It doesn't decide where the data goes.
And last but not least, we've got the network security guard, the firewall. Think of it like a bouncer at a club. As data tries to come into or leave your network, the firewall is right there, inspecting it. It's checking every little piece of data against a list of rules. Is this person on the list? Is this traffic allowed? Does this look sketchy?
If anything breaks the rules, bam, it gets blocked. It's absolutely essential for protecting your network from all the bad stuff out there. Okay, we've met the whole team, we know who everyone is and what they do, so now let's put it all together. Let's follow one little piece of data on its complete journey, from the very beginning to the very end.
Here we go. Let's trace the path. Step 1. Your data is created on your end device, your laptop or phone. If it's just going to another device on your local network, the switch handles it. But if it's headed out to the big, wide internet, the switch passes it off to the router, which is like its global GPS. And the whole time, from start to finish, that firewall is standing guard, inspecting everything to keep the system safe and sound. See, every single device plays its part perfectly.
So let's boil it all down to a super simple cheat sheet. If you forget everything else, remember this. End devices, they create the data. Switches, they connect devices locally. Routers, they connect different networks. Access points, they give you that sweet, sweet Wi-Fi. And firewalls, they protect the whole shebang. Pretty straightforward when you put it like that, huh?
And you know, that really is the key takeaway. That thing that once looked like a completely confusing mess of boxes and lines, well, now it has meaning. You can actually look at it and understand what's going on. You've basically learned the fundamental language of how our digital world is built.
So now you can read the map, you understand the lay of the land in our digital world. The only question left is, where are you going to explore next? Thanks so much for joining me.